Hello, Shalom Aleichem. We have to keep davening for the people, the innocent people in Ukraine. We have to keep davening to Hashem that the innocent people should be saved and the leaders should be persuaded to be reasonable. The leaders on both sides should take the lives of the innocent in their calculations and not their calculations for power. That they should be the people that are thought about, not their own individual power, but the people, the innocent people. They should be saved. So we should say Tehillim. There are certain Tehillim that are the best ones to say. I have that a couple of videos back. You can check that out. But anyway, today I have a couple of nice things to show. These are Sforim, some nice Sforim that are from about a couple of 100 years ago, and let's take a look about it. Let's them from Europe. Take a look. Very interesting. And here, this is this is called Sefer Emek Yehoshua Chelik Rishon. This is Emek Yehoshua, the depths of Yehoshua. Shelos Etshuvos. Shelos Etshuvos Mivarim Kama Halachos V'Inyanim Amukim, that illuminate many different halachos, very deep halachos. B'Shas, and the Shas is the Talmud, the Mishnah, the B'Shas Babli v'Yerushalmi, the Babylonian Mishnah, the Shesha Sidorim. That's the 6 Sidorim of the Mishnah, Babli and Yerushalmi. Babel, that's Babylonia, Yerushalmi and Jerusalem, Yerushalayim. Asher Chivarti B'Ezras Hashem Yisbarach Ani Akatan Yehoshua Isaac ben Rav Yechiel. That's the Rabbi Yehoshua Isaac, the son of Rabbi Yechiel. He made this. He figured, he learned it, and he decised these from what he learned of the Torah. He learned these halachos. This is Varsha, Varshavei, Emek Yehoshua, Drekarni W.A. Lebenzon. It was the Karne means it was published by W.J. Lebenzon, and he was one of the owners. Yisrael Golden, Rav Bezdin, Reselher, Sovalk. This I'm not sure. We can check it out a little bit later. Emek Yehoshua. Tome 1, that's the first tome, the first volume. Now let's take a look inside it a little bit. One minute. So this is the Emek Yehoshua. Let's see now. It has some. This is the Hakdama. That's the Hakdama. Amar Yehoshua Isaac ben Rav Yechiel. There you go. So this is his Hakdama. That's Hakdama means the preface. Emek Yehoshua Dinei Tzitzis. So he talks about Dinei Tzitzis is the laws of Tzitzis. He has a lot of different Dinei Shabbos. He talks about the laws of Shabbos. Siman Dalet. Yeah. Siman means Siman. That's a chapter or a Dinei Chametz. This is Chametz. We're coming towards Pesach. So the Chametz is that one shouldn't have leaven on Pesach, meaning chametz is bread and crackers, only matzah. It can be learned about in great depth. It can be learned about or in certain it can be gone further into. Emek Yehoshua Dinei Esrog V'Lulav. Emek Yehoshua is the dinim of Esrog and Lulav and Esrog V'Lulav. Usually it's said Lulav and Esrog, but over here he says Esrog V'Lulav. Emek Yehoshua Dinei Chadash. The laws of Chadash. Oh, Dinei Lulav. This is the Lulav. Dinei. So what's this? Dinei Chodesh. Let's see what this says. She'ela im yesh lismoch gabe Chodesh al haheter shel haposkim the Chodesh eino noeg rak v'shel eretz Yisrael olo. If we should rely on what it says on the heter, on that it's permitted, that somebody says that it's permitted, on the fact that someone says it's permitted, should we rely on that, on those poskim that say that we should rely on this? The Chadash Eino Noeg Rak B'Shel Eretz Yisrael, only from things that come from Eretz Yisrael, from Israel. Teshuva, Garcinon, B'Kedushin, we learned in Kedushin, Daf Lamed Vav, page 36, Daf 36. Kol mitzvah shehi teluya ba'aretz eino noheges ela ba'aretz. Any mitzvah that is reliant upon the fact that it's in Eretz Yisrael, eino noheges ela ba'aretz, is only conducted, we only practice this in Eretz Yisrael. V'she'ena teluya ba'aretz, nohagin bein ba'aretz, bein bechutz la'aretz. V'she'ena teluya ba'aretz, but if it's a mitzvah that does not have to do with Eretz Yisrael, noheges bein ba'aretz, bein bechutz la'aretz. This is practiced whether it's in Eretz Yisrael, whether it's outside of Eretz Yisrael. Mei ha'orla v'hakilayim chutz la'aretz, chutz mei ha'orla v'haklayim, except for orla and klayim, except that these are certain halachos that have to do with produce in the land. These are certain. So in other words, if something is orla and klayim is certain mixed types of plants that cannot be mixed together. Certain types that can't be mixed together. Viha orla and orla. So these things are practiced whether it's inside of Eretz Yisrael or outside of Eretz Yisrael. What things having to do with truma, taking a tenth of it and giving it to the Kohen, that's only practiced in Eretz Yisrael. Davar acher. Davar acher. Omer. Af hachodash. Some people say even chodash is also in, whether it's in Eretz Yisrael or not in Eretz Yisrael. V'heviu ha-Tosfos ha-Yerushalmi. It's written in Tosfos Yerushalmi. Suf perikatan the Kedushin. At the end of Kedushin. Umakshe amai lo tonei chala. And they ask a question, why don't we say challah too? Because challah is practiced, taking away of challah, a certain amount from the dough is practiced outside of Eretz Yisrael also. Umeshane law, umashne lefi she'eno noheg bi isa shel. Umeshane la she'eno noheg be'isa shel v'lo meirei meitanoin v'lo meirei masnisin. The Mishnah doesn't say ela b'devarim hanohagim b'Yisrael. V'lo meirei mi masnisan. The Mishnah does not learn ela b'devarim, only things hanohagim b'Yisrael, things that are having to do with Yisrael, that have to do with Eretz Yisrael. So anyway, that can be gone further into. So that's this wants to know whether the din of Chadash is practiced. Can we rely on the fact that only in Eretz Yisrael that you practice Chadash, or do we practice it outside of Eretz Yisrael also? So this deals with this. This deals with it. So he deals with a lot of in Yonim, a lot of subjects over here. So this Sefer is Emek Yehoshua. Sefer Emek Yehoshua. Emek Yehoshua. This is Varsha. Emek Yehoshua, and this is Vayolan Yehoshua Emek Shel Halacha. Varsha. That's Warsaw. Emek Yehoshua, Varshaveh, 1842. Okay. So that is this Sefer. Then we have more. One second. Oh, this is Seder Hayom. Vehu Perish Noyam Admaod. It's a very nice explanation. Al HaTefilos Kilo Me'arba Sigas HaChochma. Perish Remez Drash Sod Pardes. So this is from everything. Pshat is a simple halacha. Remez is something that is hinted at, which can be like Kabbalistic. Drash, no, Remez could be, it's like we learn it from something. No, it's not Kabbalistic. Remez is, it's hinted at. Darash is something that's expounded. So you look at a book. There are various Sforim that can really tell us a lot about all of these things. Sod is, I think, that would be Kabbalah. Sod means secret. Pardes, that's called Pardes. Pardes is like a garden. V'jitamar, this is Jitamar, 1870. Jitamar, and B'defus HaRabbani, Rabbeinu Rab Yitzchak, Moshe Baksht. Rabbi Rab Yitzchak Moshe Baksht. Oh, Seder Tfilas HaShachar. Here, this is about the davening in the morning. Kavanas Petum Aktoras. This is talking about the Kavana, the meaning behind Petum Aktoras. That's certain one of the davening, part of the davening. Let's take a look at this. Li'olam yishtadel lovo min harishonim, but it says min ha'achronim. So li'olam, it's one should always strive to be one of the first people that go to the shul. So let's say min ha'achronim, and then to be one of the last people that leave from the synagogue. V'im yachol lihisakev ad shelo yisharu yud. And if you can't stay until, let's say, there are let's say if you go and then you will break up the minyan because you have to have 10 men to be the part of the minyan. V'im yachol hisakev, and if you're able to stay around ad shalo yisharu yud bebeis hakneses, until there are not 10 in the Beis HaKnesses. Tov lo shalo goras hu laharos habinyan lihistalek hashchina shaharei nisakef ad shalo nishaer makom l'shchina lanuach v'od ki hayeshiva bebeis hamedrash v'od shahayeshiva bebeis hamedrash he mitzvah b'fnei atzma. So staying in the Beis HaMedrash is a mitzvah by itself. In other words, it's very important that one should always try to stay in them. If there's let's say 10 people, 10 men, if there are 10 men that are there, one should really strive not to be the one that leaves to make it 9 men, because that will make the minyan, that will take away the minyan. And which is a very that's not a good thing. It's a mitzvah to and yeshiva in the Beis HaMedrash, staying in the Beis HaMedrash, and sitting there is a mitzvah by itself, kedechsiv, because it says Ashrei Yoshvei Beisecha. It says Ashrei, happy are those that dwell in your house. V'yomer Yeshu Yeshorim Esponecha, Yashuva Yeshorim Esponecha. Those that are righteous will say Yeshuva Yeshorim Esponecha. They will turn to see your face, the face of Hashem. Umikan simanu Ashrei Yoshvei B'Yisecha V'Yomer Yeshuva Yeshorim Esponecha. That's in the Psalms. Umikan simanei shetzarech ha'adam l'shahos shor achas kodem hatfila v'shor achas achar hatfila. So from this we learn that it's important for a person to be in the Beis HaMidrash 1 hour, an hour, or let's say a period of time, let's say, doesn't have to be exactly an hour, before the davening, and the period of time after the davening. In other words, one should prepare oneself for the davening, and one should afterwards think about the davening and try to comport oneself accordingly for the rest of the day after the davening. Happy are they that sit in your house. They will forever be praising you. That's after the davening. And then it says, Sadikim yodu l'shemecha. The righteous will yodu l'shemecha, will thank you. We give thanks to your name. Yeshu Yesharim Esponecha. Yachshav Avonosenu she'ein Anu misakvim shor lepachos nakdim min hakodim nakadim min hakodamim v'nisachar min ha'me'acharim. Since today we don't have those that really, those that stay a whole full hour after, so we should be at least part of those that come at the beginning of the davening, and part of those that stay around after the davening. In other words, not a whole hour, but at least a certain amount, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. In other words, you should be in it for a little bit before, and then don't run out afterwards. And then here we can learn this. This can be learned later on. Let's go on to another sefer in the meantime. So this is called Sefer Seder Hayom. This is from B'Jitamar, 1870. Here we have another one here. We have another one over here. Hakdamos Hagon Benu Avadya Reb Yaakov Sforno. This is Kavonos HaTorah. Mechkere Kelalo Kiros Leiv Hagon HaKolal Aloki Rabbi Avadya Sforno Avid HaRofim Avir HaRofim. He was one of the great healers. That's how his memory should be a blessing. Kavonos HaTorah. So this goes according to his Perush on the Torah. Here, this is Bereshis. Here, this is Bereshis. Up there, Bereshis. And this is Sefer. This is Toldos. His explanation on Toldos. This is Vayetze. Vayetze Yaakov mi be'er. Vayetze Yaakov vayelech Charana. And Yaakov left, and he went to Haran. He left from Beersheba, and he went to Haran. This is Vayigash Elov. This is when Yehuda came over to Yosef, and he said to him, please. He said to Yosef threatened to take Binyamin as a captive until they bring Yaakov over to see him. But Yosef threatened to take Binyamin as a captive, so Yehuda came over to Binyamin, not to Binyamin. Yehuda came over to Yosef, and he said, "Please don't do this. We don't want, God forbid, to cause harm to our father, Yaakov." And they had that discussion. And that's when Yosef revealed that he's their brother. He is the brother of the Shvatim, of these tribes. He is one of the tribes, and that he had children, Ephraim and Menashe. He had children also. So his children would be two tribes, would be the tribes, Ephraim and Menashe. They would be called on the names of Yaakov. Yaakov counted Yosef's two children as his own children. So they call Yosef's children, Ephraim and Menashe, they call them the children of Yaakov. Ephraim and Menashe are considered the children of Yaakov Avinu, and part of the 12 Shvatim, the 12 tribes. Shalsheles HaKabbalah lehachacham hachosid mi mishpachas Rom Rev Gedalia ben Yechiu. This is from Lvov, Lemberg, 1862. Uvod Rushim Chidushim Upischim Megidim Nosafim Al Kol Asher Chovro Lefonav Kinyan Zeh Tochen HaSefer Umahuso Ve'echuso Nisbar B'fnim Ve'aktomos HaMechaber Zatzal Lvov. Malchi Yisrael B'Yehuda. This is the chain of how the Torah was given. The Torah was handed down from Hashem to Moshe Rabbeinu, and then Moshe handed it down to Yehoshua. This gives us This gives us the chronological events, the yichus of how things went. There's Yitzchak and Yaakov and Moshe. Here, this is Moshe and Pinchas, Shmuel. This tells us their history and what they did. And so this is very, very comprehensive. This can be learned and studied for weeks and months. Oh, Don Yitzchak Abarbanel. This is Don Yitzchak Abarbanel. He was a great, one of the Spanish, from the rabbi. So that's Don Yitzchak Abarbanel. So this is Shalshelas HaKabbalah, Lvov, 1862. Lvov, 1862. Okay, now let's see. 1 minute. Here, this is more Divrei Torah, Bereshis. Let's see the Sharablat. The Sharablat means the first page, which tells us what it's about. Hareini Muchan Mazuman. He's prepared, and then to ready to like Lahalo Salad Fus Seforim. To put on the sefer, to put on to print the sefer. Rabbi Admor, the rabbi, the great Rebbe, Lezakos Poes Rabbim, to give favor to the people from Hashem, Lechem Yichud. This will help to give favor to Yisrael from a great Rebbe, So this is his Divrei Torah. Let's see. I don't know if I can see the name of the Rebbe. If and when I find it out, I can put it on the explanation below. So anyway, these are his Divrei Torah. On various. The portions of the Torah. Oh, you can see the very nice printing and some nice designs over here too. Anyway. So thank you very much. Thank you so much for watching, and Sein gut. Be well.